Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am here to recap the season finale, hallelujah, of My Big Fat Fabulous Life. This is episode 12, Bon Voyage Whitney. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Girl, bye, adios, Avita au revoir, get on with your bad self. I know I always say that I don't want these recaps to be too long, and I'm gonna try to keep this one short too because a lot doesn't happen in this episode other than us watching Whitney drop every commitment, obligation, go back on her word, all so that she can traipse off to Paris to go get her man. But does he know he's her man? Is he aware of that? I think somebody needs to let him know because I don't think he knows that they're supposed to be in love, judging by the way Whitney tells it. In her mind, she's gonna go to Paris, they're gonna meet, they're gonna fall in love, become a couple, he's gonna propose, they're gonna get married and live happily ever after. In his mind, I think he's expecting for Whitney to show up so that he can, tour her around the Eiffel Tower, they can eat some croissants, and then she can be on her way back to Greensboro. At least judging by the conversations he has with her and her parents in this episode, I think they're on two different pages. I will say this though, that if this relationship between Whitney and the Frenchman is real, and I doubt that it is, but if it's real, if I were Whitney, I would be so pissed at the producers and the editors for basically fucking up my love storyline that I have going on this show, because it looks really one-sided from her end. She looks silly and desperate, and like she's trying to force moments to happen between them, force a relationship that's just, it's not, maybe, I always like to sort of give the benefit of the doubt that perhaps in private, he's more open and flirtatious and, she's seeing something that we're not seeing. But if that's the case, I would have just kept him off the show because it looks ridiculous. But anyway, I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So let's just jump into the review. The episode opened with Buddy going to visit Whitney. She's back from her family and friends vacation in Maine. She's basically just giving him the blow by blow of everything that happened, in particular, the Frenchman not being able to meet her out there. And then she gets to the point of the story where she tells him that she got a terrible toothache, the worst pain she ever felt, but luckily she was able to find a dentist nearby who could pull her tooth. And this is the part where I admit I was totally lost on the joke. It was over my head. I didn't get it. I'm slow, I admit it. So if you caught it, let me know in the comments. Whitney tells Buddy that the doctor's name, the doctor's name was Dr. Horowitz. And Buddy asks Whitney, spell Horowitz for me. So she starts to H-O, she stops, yells, bitch! And then they both just bust out laughing. Is it because she spelled ho? Is that the joke? Because it's not that funny. It's not funny at all to me, but they're both laughing. And clearly what I can tell is that the joke is on Whitney, but he's trying to embarrass her, put her on blast. So she's laughing, and in her sort of embarrassment, irritation, she throws a remote control at Buddy's head with such precision and aim. It lands dead center in the middle. It nicks him, and he just starts bleeding, which only makes Whitney laugh even more. I'm sorry, not laugh, cackle and scream at the top of her lungs as she rolls around on her bed. She thinks it's the funniest thing she's ever seen. She says, she feels bad that he's bleeding, but this is just so hilarious. She can't stop laughing. I suppose in her defense, Buddy doesn't seem too upset or bothered. He goes and he gets a Band-Aid and he puts it on, and Whitney doesn't miss a beat. She just jumps right back into her story about the Frenchman and the trip. And okay, so as I was saying, the Frenchman wasn't able to make it, and he invited me to Paris, but I told him no because I just have too much going on with the No BS Active app, and I have a photo shoot and lots of content to create. And Buddy, I think because he knows Whitney pretty well, is surprised that she turned him down, and so he stops her and tells her, so you're not going? I'm surprised you said no. And she clears that up real quick. Oh, no, I decided to go. I decided I can cram all of this into a few days before I leave for a month. Buddy knows her well. He knows that when there's a man involved, nothing will stop Whitney. So, okay, that's the Whitney he knows and loves. And like the rest of her friends, he just wishes her well, tells her that he hopes it all works out. He wants the best for her. He wants to see her happy. He then turns the conversation to himself and tells Whitney that the relationship with Courtney is going so well. He's actually thinking of proposing, and maybe Whitney can help him pick out a ring, and Whitney's excited and happy for him. Maybe a little surprised that this is happening so fast. She asks Buddy, so have you guys been going out now for what, 8 months, 9 months? And he confirms, oh, about 9 months. Whitney says, oh, that's about as long as I've been, talking to the French man. Isn't it like so funny? In 9 months you're ready to propose, and in 9 months I'm ready to like meet him in person for the first time. Isn't it crazy? Yeah, Whitney, it is kind of crazy. In his confessional, of course, because her friends will never say it to her face, he does think that Whitney is maybe moving a little fast, because she's telling Buddy, oh, you proposing, it feels like love is in the air, and it's a good omen. Maybe I'll go out to France and fall in love, and maybe the Frenchman will propose, and then we'll both be engaged. And he's just, in his confessional, he can't maybe speak to the quickness of a relationship, because his has moved quite fast with Courtney. But what he can speak to is meeting somebody online, and before you actually meet in person, face to face, you can feel like you have all the chemistry in your text messages. You could be really attracted to each other over FaceTime, but once you meet in person, that can all go to hell. Hence, if we recall his relationship with Chelsea last season, yeah, that was a disaster. So, of course, though, he doesn't share this with Whitney. He just, in front of her, wishes her well and sends her off, and that's it. Now it's time for Whitney to let Jessica know that she is going to be skippity-booing off to Paris to go get her man, thus dropping all of the things they had planned to do to get their app launched. I'm sorry, not their app, Whitney's app. It's very clear that this is Whitney's app and Whitney's business, and she calls all the shots. So it's the day of the photo shoot, and they've hired a photographer and a hair makeup person. Oh, I shouldn't do these reviews when I'm tired and after work and it's been a long, irritating day, but this series has been long and irritating, so I think it fits the theme. Anyway, where was I? So it's the day of their photo shoot. It's, the pictures look beautiful, professional, it's all going well. The photographer takes a break so that Whitney and Jessica can have a conversation. And Jessica just asks Whitney, okay, what's up next on our schedule? What do we have to do? And Whitney tells her, oh, there's been a little snag in our scheduling. And she just lets her know, hey, remember the French man was supposed to come see me on my trip, and then he couldn't. Well, then he invited me to Paris, and I decided I'm gonna go for a month, and I leave in a week. And Jessica's just like, okay, hold on, wait, slow down. Okay, you're leaving for a month in a week, and what about all the stuff we have planned to do? In her confessional, Jessica is, well, first she is just baffled that somebody can just drop every single thing in their life, their obligations, their commitments, to just run off to another country just because you want to see about a guy. Who does that? Who can do that? Well, Jessica, Whitney can. Whitney doesn't give a fuck. She does what she wants. Just get out of the way. It doesn't matter, She doesn't take into consideration, her employees, her business partners, things she committed herself to. Because remember, she told Jessica before she left for her vacation that when she got back, they would have to spend the next 3 months filming 4 videos every day. And now Whitney's saying that they can somehow cram that all into a week. I don't even know how that's possible. So Jessica's concerned that if Whitney can just so easily just drop her commitments, the planning they had to do this, that when she gets to Paris, she can easily just drop the app altogether if she decides to stay, And I don't know why I thought that they were somehow equal partners. Clearly they're not. She, Jessica is a hired employee, but she shouldn't be surprised. This is the way Whitney works as a boss. She saw, Ashley get fired with 0 notice. Like, Whitney does not communicate anything. I don't know if she's trying to she's waiting the last minute because she doesn't want to have to hear it or deal with it. Or, she told Ashley she just didn't want to get her all excited and upset for no reason if the app didn't come through. It's just communicate, let us know what the possible. She doesn't care. Anyway, she's trying to tell Jessica, oh, don't worry, we're on track, everything's fine. I've rescheduled everything. I can film videos there. You can film videos here. And you know what, bitch? I don't even care. I don't even feel guilty for this decision about me going I deserve it. And surprisingly, Jessica actually tells Whitney, well, you should feel guilty for now at least letting me know. And did you all see Whitney's face? immediately. Like, she was like, yeah, I don't care. And as soon as like Jessica said something, her face was like, excuse me. It almost felt like, because nobody tells Whitney anything. Nobody says boo to Whitney. And it was almost as if in that moment, Jessica went off script and Whitney wanted to say, I'm sorry, cut. What are you talking about? You don't talk to me that way. She was just so thrown off, but she kind of like got back into the scene and just reassured Jessica, no, we can get this done. It'll be fine. Plenty of time. And so Jessica tells her, okay, well, if you expect me to get all this done in a week, I'm gonna need a raise. And she said it in a way that was sort of kidding, not kidding. And I feel like if she would have pressed a little more, she probably could have got a raise, because it looked like for a second Whitney might have felt a little bad because she said, oh, okay, you want a raise? And as happy as I was, like, yes, Jessica's standing up for herself, like, I was quickly let down, because then Jessica starts backpedaling, telling her, no, I'm kidding about the raise. Like, I'm really happy for you. I'm excited for you. I want you to find love and happiness. So I know we can do this in a week. Like, anything you need, we can get it done. Like, let's do it, girl. Again, it's like Whitney just doing whatever she wants, no consideration for anybody, no consequences. She just like, it's just so frustrating, but it's nothing new. It's nothing new. Later on, Will, Jessica's dad, who owns the gym, invites Whitney to come down because he has set up a training session that he wants her to conduct with a client. It's actually, if you remember, Rebecca. She was one of the girls on the big girl travel retreat. So it's sort of a good setup, because if Rebecca feels a little apprehension about going to a gym, while she knows Whitney, and so it's more comfortable. And if Whitney's at all nervous about doing a session on her own, she knows Rebecca, so it's not so much pressure. And this is an opportunity for Will and Jessica to watch from afar to see how Whitney does. And I'm confused, because didn't Will tell her that in order for him to even consider hiring her at the gym, she would first have to be certified? And she's not. She's not even close. She didn't even take the test and failed. She got through 6 questions and then bailed because she freaked out. So why are we bothering with this exercise? I don't get it. She does the training session. She looks, knowledgeable, confident, like she knows what she's doing. And so I'm sure she could be a personal trainer, but I don't really think she wants to be one. I don't know if this was a situation where, the filming scheduled and calendared a training session because they assumed Whitney would have passed the test and be certified by now, so we might as well just film it. It's on the calendar, but it doesn't make any sense. It's like putting the cart before the horse. Like, why are we, and you know what? After the session, Whitney and Jessica and Will get together so they can sort of like let her know what they think. And Will actually tells her, Whitney, this was the real test to see how you would do, and you passed, and I have no doubt and all the confidence that you could be a personal trainer, so I would totally hire you. And I was just, oh, not again, like, because Will is one of the few people that holds Whitney accountable, and now, like, his daughter, he's just backpedaling, like, what for? This storyline was just so, it was such nonsense. If this show comes back next season and I decide to recap it again, and I don't know that I will, or because I'm really not feeling it right now, but I'll never say never. So if it comes back and I do decide to recap it, and they dust off this storyline of her becoming a certified personal trainer for a third season in a row, I will not talk about it. I will not bring it up. I just, because it's dumb. I know that the show is scripted, and I know that they sit down before they film, a season to talk about, what's the season going to be about? Like, what are the story arcs we want to create? And this certification training is some bullshit. I'm just so tired of it. I don't care anymore. So that was it. I guess it's a way of sort of wrapping up the storyline, even though she's still not certified. So I don't care. It's dumb. I'm moving on. We're moving on. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't, so we're gonna try this again. So now it's time for the Frenchman to find out that Whitney's coming to see him. So she just calls him up and lets him know, hey, guess what? I bought a ticket. I'm coming to France. He is taken aback a little bit, I think caught off guard, because his response is, oh, so like you're actually coming to France and stuff. And she says, yeah. And he says, so this isn't like a potential thing, like it's definite you're coming. And she says, yeah, I bought a ticket. I am definitely coming. I'll be there next weekend. And I find it surprising, or maybe not surprising because she probably did. Like, she wouldn't have reached out to him to let him know, hey, I'm looking at my calendar. I think I can make it work. Will this work for you? No, she's just springing it on him. And so he tells her, oh, okay, well, that's cool. When I asked you and invited you, I thought it was sort of just opening the door to have a conversation about you, possibly coming out here. And so, oh, but that's cool. I'll be happy to like show you around. And see, this is how I know they're on different pages, because if I forgot to mention, Whitney told Jessica that she doesn't have any interest in like seeing the sights or doing the touristy thing. She's been there, done that. All she wants to do is go out there for a month and cuddle, cook, and watch movies, where he just wants to be like, so, want to go to the Louvre? And if they're not on different pages, they're definitely on different levels of excitement by Whitney's own admission, because he sounds like he could sort of take her or leave her. Like, oh, you're coming? Okay, cool. Really, for real? And, because I think when he invited her, he did it sort of out of like a courtesy, because he wasn't able to make it to the States. And I think because in his mind, he didn't think she would actually call his bluff, because she's been telling him how busy she's going to be in her app and her whatever. But she called his bluff, and there's nothing he can do about it now but just sort of smile and tell her, okay. He does offer to let her stay at his place, but she surprisingly, I was shocked, found herself a hotel, which I think is a good idea. What was interesting, though, is this whole episode, she was telling everybody that she's going out there for a month and she hasn't bought a return ticket. But she doesn't tell him that she's staying for a month. She only tells him that she didn't buy a return ticket. And the only reason I would think she would do that is because if she does go out there and they meet and it's horrible, she can just book a ticket home right away and that'll be that. And so maybe in telling him that, it sort of relieves the pressure, like she can leave, she doesn't have to stay for, I don't know, because, it's a good thing she didn't tell him she was staying for a month, because that would be a lot. If I were him, I'd be like, oh, what the hell am I going to do with somebody for a month? That's a lot of time to spend with somebody you don't even know you're going to really like mesh with. So, that was pretty much it. He did ask her, if he couldn't be any less enthused. He then asked her, like, so what made you finally decide to want to come? Well, maybe because you invited her, and maybe because she's in love with you, if you didn't know. And I don't think he does know. Because he says, I thought you're really busy. I thought you had a lot to do. And she tells him, yeah, I am really busy. I do have a lot to do, but I've rescheduled everything. It's going to be really tight to get this all done, but I want to make it work because I really want to see you and I want to meet up and see if this is going to be anything. I would say we'll see what happens, but we're not going to see what happens. Maybe we might hear about it next season, if there is a season, if I do decide. Let's finish this up. We're almost done. So we have a quick scene where Heather takes her kids over to visit Whitney. She has a daughter, Ava, who's almost 13, and a son, Eli, who is 9. And, they're really well-behaved, well-mannered, good-looking kids. She has a nice family. But what bothered me about this scene, and maybe it's just me, maybe I'm weird, but Whitney and Heather want to have an adult conversation, just the two of them, with cameras and everybody, the whole world watching. So Whitney tells the kids, oh, you know what? You know who really wants to see you? My cat Henshin. Yeah, I can hear him like now. Yeah, he's asking to see you guys. You guys want to go see him? And it's just, why is she talking to them like they're dumb? Like they're 3 years old? Like, this is a preteen girl. Why she can't just say, hey, me and your mom want to have a conversation alone. Do you mind going outside for a little bit? Or, hey, there's some ice cream in the freezer in the kitchen. Help yourself. Like, I guess it's just a pet peeve of mine when adults talk to kids like they're stupid. Like maybe it was Whitney just trying to be cute, but I was just like, oh, Whitney. Anyway, so the kids leave, and Whitney is just sharing with Heather that she's nervous about going to France because she'd feel more comfortable if he came here. She would have more control over the situation. Because over there, if they go to a restaurant, she doesn't know if the seat is going to hold her. And, the cafes there are really narrow and small, and she's a little bigger. And Heather just tells her, that is like just the facts of your life. It's what it is. You shouldn't be ashamed of it. And Whitney tells her, I'm not ashamed of it. It could be awkward and uncomfortable. But hey, it is what it is, Whitney. So anyway, Heather then tells Whitney that she made an appointment for the doctor to get a checkup to see if she is healthy enough to be a surrogate. You know, if her uterus is in good working order to carry Whitney's egg and the Frenchman's filthy sperm. Those were his words. And Whitney's excited and happy. She's just bummed that she won't be here in town, you know, to go to the doctor with Heather. I mean, I won't get into that. I was gonna maybe touch on if, I know this is important to Whitney. I know having a child is important to Whitney, but I guess in this particular moment, running off to Paris to see about some guy is more important. But in the end, Heather thinks it's better that she go alone because she doesn't know what the doctor's gonna say. It might be bad news. She might not be healthy enough to do it, and she doesn't want to ruin Whitney's vacation. So she tells her, either way it goes, I'll let you know what happens when you get back. Whitney shares that her whole IVF surrogacy plan has always included Heather. And so she's just surprised at Heather's apprehension and reservations. But again, from my understanding, Heather offered to be a surrogate a long time ago when she was a lot younger. And I know that Whitney may have greater health issues and complications, but Heather is the same age, I believe, or close to Whitney's. It is a frustrating fact for women that, you know, for us as opposed to men, which is a whole other conversation, our window for having children closes the older we get. It's not impossible, but it's, you know, you're less likely to have, you know, complications the younger you are. And so my question is that if Heather does go to the doctor and he tells her you're healthy, you can do it, are they going to do it now? Or are they going to put it off longer until Whitney finds a partner, you know, that she wants to raise this child with? Because time is of the essence. If Heather is who you want to be a surrogate, then this has to happen now. So I don't know, again, I hate talking about like next season. If there is a next season, I'm sure if there is, it will now be the talk of whether or not we're doing the surrogacy thing now, or maybe Heather isn't able to do it. So what are we gonna do? I'm sure this is coming back. We haven't heard the end of the story. And I know it's a real thing. Whitney really had her eggs, you know, taken and frozen, and she really wants to be a mom. But I don't know that using Heather is necessarily the best route to go. But like I said, I'm sure we'll hear about this if there's another season. So let's finish this season finale off, shall we? Whitney's parents are taking her to the airport. It's the day for her to fly out to France. So on the way there in the car, Whitney calls up the Frenchman to let him know, like, hey, I am on my way to the airport. I'll see you soon. You know, hey, Dad, say hi. I guess the dad is just not paying attention, or maybe his hearing is a little off because he thinks it's Buddy on the phone and says, oh, hey, Buddy. And Whitney tells him, Dad, it's not Buddy, it's the Frenchman. And the dad doesn't know, the dad doesn't care. And so she tries to play it off and tells the Frenchman, oh, you know, I think my dad, you know, he was kind of confused because your English is so good. He's so surprised by it. And the Frenchman tells the dad, oh, well, thank you very much. I guess I'm just a victim of my talents. I don't even really know what that means. So this is what I mean now by this is where Whitney tries to force a moment to happen. So she's, you know, holding the phone up to her dad and it's saying like, say something, talk to him. So the dad is just like, okay, well, yeah, your English is really good. We're headed to the airport with Whitney, and, you know, we just want to make sure you're going to, like, take care of her while she's out there. You know, it's kind of silence and crickets for a little bit, and then the Frenchman says, oh, yes, you know, absolutely, sure, yeah, you know, I'll make sure that, you know, she doesn't get slaughtered or anything. And I'm just like, what is he talking about, getting slaughtered? And even Whitney is like, what? And so she grabs the phone and from her dad and says like, yes, please don't let me get slaughtered. I mean, this is his baseline. Basically what he's telling her dad is, yeah, I'll keep her from getting murdered. That's about as much as I can promise. And so she's telling the Frenchman, like, you know, tell my dad that I'm going to be safe. Tell him that, you know, you're going to look out for me. And this is what I mean, like, because I think what she wanted was to get on the phone, tell the Frenchman, hey, I'm on the way. My parents are worried about me because I'm going out there alone. And she wanted the Frenchman on his own volition to tell her parents, oh no, don't worry about Whitney. I'll look out for her. She's safe with me. I'll protect her, you know, I'll protect her with my life. She's so important to me. Like, but he's not. He's saying, okay, I'll try to keep her alive. I mean, and now that's all the dad can think of is, you know, Whitney says daughter slaughter. And Whitney says she thinks that maybe, you know, this is the Frenchman just trying to be funny, but clearly we are lost in translation. So she just tells him, okay, I'll see you soon. Gotta let you go. They get to the airport. The mom is crying. She's hugging Whitney, just sad because Whitney's going to be gone for a month. The dad's telling Whitney, please be safe. Please be careful. Because the last thing the Frenchman left him with was, you know, his daughter getting slaughtered. And so Whitney says she's going to be fine. You know, she's excited, she's nervous, and you know, she's off to Paris, and that is it. We are done. What did you guys think? Slaughter. I was just like, why would you say something like that? Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments. These last few recaps I've done, I've gotten a lot of people commenting just their thoughts and, you know, their you know, feelings about how fake the show is and how annoying Whitney is. And yeah, I try to answer everybody back because nobody I know watches this show because it's dumb, and nor would I ever like refer this show to anybody. So this is where I'm able to just get it off my chest and talk to all of you about it. So, you know, I know I kind of, you know, complain a lot about how like irritating the show is, but I have enjoyed reviewing it for you that tune in, and I really appreciate it. So I don't know if any of you watch Sister Wives, but that's about to start up, and so I'm going to pick that show up and start recapping it. I really dropped the ball last season and I regret it. I'm sure we all are aware that, you know, the Christine and Cody breakup. It's not surprising. I'm just surprised, you know, Mary didn't leave first, but I think she has left, you know, as much as she can. She's there only in like show name only. And then I read today that Janelle is moving off of Coyote Pass. She's like in a trailer there, or was. I'm sure that was totally for the show. And I don't think in this season we're gonna see the breakup of Cody and Christine, but maybe, you know, leading up to it. So I'm hoping it'll be a good season. I'm sure we'll see, you know, Janelle in the trailer on the lot of land that they've yet to do anything on. So I hope you'll join me for that. Again, let me know what you think. I really appreciate, again, everybody subscribing and commenting. And I know I'm trying to get better at this. I do try really hard. I'm still trying to learn how to edit more, and I'm still sort of finding my way and my footing. And so I appreciate, you know, all the support. And so I will see you all next time for Sister Wives. Bye.